the football palace that is Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight, Andy Dalton comes in with his TCU team, hoping for another special season like they had a year ago. He's the winningest quarterback in college football today, but in the way in game one, the Rodgers brothers, the most dynamic duo in college football today. From Corvallis come the Beavers of Oregon State. Their matchup with the Horned Frogs of TCU is next. Featuring the Beavers of Oregon State from the Pac-10 and the Horned Frogs of TCU from the Mountain West. And here come the Beavers of Oregon State. They haven't been ranked in the top 25 in the preseason polls in 9 years. They come in tonight ranked number 24. As you take a look at the AP top 10, Alabama in front out of San Jose State. Ohio State won on Thursday. You look at the rest, but you also look at TCU in that number 6 spot. That is their highest preseason national ranking in school history. Welcome to Arlington, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge, and happy Labor Day weekend. You know, I talked about the Beavers of Oregon State without a preseason ranking a long time, Todd. Last year, they were just one win away from making it to the Rose Bowl. They have some known commodities, but they also have an unknown commodity.
Now, you mentioned the Rodgers brothers. That's the known commodity. Wide receiver James, the senior, his younger brother Jaquez, the junior running back, are dynamic playmakers. They accounted for over 60% of the Beaver offense last year, but that was with a senior quarterback. The unknown is sophomore Ryan Katz. Now, I saw him on the practice field this week. He has an NFL caliber arm and very nimble feet. But the bottom line, he's only thrown 27 passes as a college quarterback, and his first start tonight against a team in TCU that's led the nation in total defense the last 2 years.
And against a team that scored almost 39 points a game last year, led by a senior quarterback who's got 29 career wins on the other side.
Andy Dalton had a brilliant year last year till the end. He threw 3 of his 8 interceptions in the loss to Boise State. He, more than anybody, has been counting off the days to get back out on the field and to redeem himself and to lead this team.
He is the undisputed leader of the Horned Frogs of TCU. After a perfect regular season last year, they stumbled in their bowl game. They're hoping for special times all season long again this year. And here come the Horned Frogs. They're the home team with a big crowd behind them. So tonight, Andy Dalton, the aforementioned quarterback for TCU, will be looking for his 30th career win as their signal caller. That will set a school record. But in the way, those two guys, they are fun to watch. Oregon State at TCU will kick it off when we come back.
This is Dick's Sporting Goods Kickoff Week. The 2010 Cowboys Classic, brought to you by Tostitos, good times, guaranteed. Wrangler, for unbeatable comfort and value, you can count on Wrangler. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans. And Bud Light, it's a sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Oregon State won the toss, so we're going to get a chance to see their offense first. With more on the brothers Rodgers, let's check in third member of our team, Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, James and Jaquez Rodgers are playing tonight about 4 hours away from where they grew up, and it's the first time they've been back home to play in front of their friends and family in Texas since they left home. They have about 30 to 40 family members here, including their mom, their sister, their brother, uncles. They had special T-shirts made that say, "We believe in Quan and Quiz." That's James's nickname. There could be distractions with this, but their coach, Mike Riley, told me that they were not too hyped, they were ready, they were focused, and that the guys themselves said this will be a business trip. We'll see tonight.
Mike Riley, he's always had trouble getting his team focused and ready to play early in the season, but he's got a splendid record at Corvallis. This guy, what a record, and what he's done with this football program. Gary Patterson in his 10th season as the head coach of the Horned Frogs of TCU. As I mentioned, Oregon State won the toss. They'll take the ball. That means Kevin Sharples will tee it up. And back deep, James Rogers, one of the captains. They'd like to keep it out of his hands. Jordan Poyer is back there with him. So it's TCU and Oregon State, the boys of fall, as we're set from Cowboy Stadium in Arlington. Here we go. James Rogers a yard deep. Across the 20, fights his way out to about the 24-yard line. Here's the guy that Todd was talking about, Ryan Katz out of Santa Monica, California.
Yeah, he is really talented. I mean, watching him on Wednesday, I mean, when you say a guy has an NFL arm, that means he can make every throw. And Mike Riley is an NFL coach, former head coach in the NFL. He knows what an NFL quarterback looks like. And this guy has got the physical tools. He just has not played much, but he is ready to go.
And Mike Riley says, I'm going to tell him to let it rip. Just go play. First down, first play. We're going to let him rip it right here. And he's going deep. And it's James Rogers, and he just overshot it. Well, that's the way you open things up.
That's called letting it rip.
Yep. Greg McCoy was covering. Rogers had a step, but the pass was just a little bit too deep.
Well, they went after McCoy, who may be the fastest guy on this TCU team. A very fast team all over the place, but McCoy might be the very fastest. But Rogers beat him on that play.
They shift now, and Jaquiz Rogers gets back there at the tailback spot. Play action. Katz, trouble from behind. Down he goes. Ball is out. TCU's got it, I think. Battle at the bottom of the pile. Wayne Daniels came flying around the corner, and they're going to say that Oregon State got back on top of the ball.
Well, he beat the tight end. Brady Camp, number 83, is trying to set inside to block him, and Daniels went right around him with that quickness. This is Daniels' year. He's the guy that's taking the spot of the departed Jerry Hughes, who was a first-round draft pick, and right away Daniels makes his presence felt.
Last year, 5.5 sacks. It's the first one for him here in the opening moments. And now Katz will work from the shotgun on a 3rd down and 13. Fires near side and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Aaron Nichols would have been about a yard short of the first down had he held onto it. So it's 3 and out for Oregon State.
Well, they got 2 bodies on Daniels that time to give Katz a little more time, and that time Katz was a little off with his throw. It was an outside route, and the ball was thrown to the inside of his receiver Nichols, and it resulted in the incompletion.
Johnny Hecker will punt for the Beavers, and back deep, a guy that's very dangerous. He took 2 to the house as a punt returner last year, special teams player of the year in the Mountain West, Jeremy Curley. High, deep spiral. Curley's got a backpedal to the 25. Made the first man miss. And then gets down the sideline to about the 33-yard line. And that's where the offense of TCU will take over. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Horned Frogs. Here's the Big Eaters up front. Cannon moves to left tackle, making his first start there. He was on the right side last year. Roth, the right tackle, his first start. And Kirkpatrick is the anchor at center. Ed Wesley starts in the backfield. Hicks and Curley, the wide receivers, with Jimmy Young. And the tight end, Evan Frosch. And it's Andy Dalton set up in the backfield with Ed Wesley in a shotgun. And all the receivers have a look to the sideline.
We'll see some no huddle out of TCU in this ball game tonight.
Here's a quick pass, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. So incomplete on first down. We'll see, as Todd was talking about, TCU go with some no huddle tonight, but not after a play like that.
Well, it's one of the differences between a 5th-year senior quarterback who has won 29 games, more responsibility at the line of scrimmage to check the plays. You give him more of that leadership role, and Dalton is ready to do that this season.
Second down at the 34. Dalton all alone. Slip screen. Curley puts his hand down to keep his balance and got out across the 40, close to the 42-yard line. As we take a look at the defensive alignment for Oregon State, and they have got a great one up front in Stephen Paya, one of the best in college football, with Olander, Henry, and Miller. Linebackers, Keith Pankey coming back from an injury with Wilson and Roberson, and the secondary looks like that's Lance Mitchell, the leader on the back end for Oregon State. First third down of the night for TCU. 41% a year ago in their third down conversions. And it's Dalton who keeps it, and he's got the first down, and that's the dimension that he adds. People forget about sometimes that he threw for 2,700 plus yards last year, but he also ran for over 500.
Just a little simple zone read play for him, and all the attention went to the back, and Dalton did the smart thing. Go north and south, get the first down, and get yourself a new set of downs. And
he does at the 47-yard line. Wesley goes out. Fort comes in as the running back, but right now everybody split in the shotgun as Dalton's back to throw again. Fires, and it's right into the hands of Lance Mitchell. Mitchell back to the 32-yard line. 21-yard return, and Andy Dalton threw that right to number 10.
Yeah, that was a miscommunication between Andy Dalton and two receivers. And he threw it right between two Horned Frog receivers. Watch, he's going to throw it right in between, and the only guy in between is Lance Mitchell for Oregon State. And a big break for the Beaver defense right away.
Let's see if they think about a quick strike here. Just outside the 31-yard line. Quiz Rogers backpedals his way inside the 30 near the 29. Corey Grant, the first guy to make contact. So Andy Dalton, who had those 3 interceptions in the Fiesta Bowl, didn't want to start out the first 3 minutes of this game throwing a pick. But it's given Oregon State a golden opportunity here.
Yeah, that was definitely some confusion on the part of the TCU offense on that play.
Second down and 8. Cats in the shotgun. Set to throw. Gonna go to the end zone. Touchdown. James Rogers. There's the NFL arm, and there's the speed of James Rogers.
And there was the protection that you've got to give a quarterback to make that kind of a throw down the field. Great job by the offensive line, giving Cats time, and the stutter-step move by James Rogers to get open in the end zone.
Well, you talk about taking advantage of the turnover. Took him 2 plays. Justin Cahoot in for the point after. And it's up and good. Well, just as TCU had picked up a first down and moved it near midfield. First of all, disaster hit with the turnover. Lance Mitchell with the interception. And just 2 plays later, James Rogers on a strike from Ryan Katz. Beavers 7-0 leaders.
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
James Rogers' 15th career touchdown catch. Oregon State 7-0.
Well, I'll tell you, he's having the better of it against Greg McCoy so far early. He ran by him on an incompletion. Watch him now, number 8. Watch this stutter step move right here, and it freezes McCoy. And then he just blurs right by him, and a beautiful throw by Katz. He ran by him early. That time he double moved him and got an easy touchdown.
Cahoot to kick. Curley and McCoy are deep, and this will be Curley at the goal line. Jeremy Curley, hurdled out to the 16-yard line. 7-0 here. Let's check in with Reese Davis in the studio. Reese.
Ness, number 1 Alabama opening without Mark Ingram, without Marcel Darius, already up 14-3 on San Jose State, and Trent Richardson Not going to catch him. 39 yards. Richardson went for over 100 in the national championship game, has 56 and a couple of touches, tied up 21-3.
Certainly nice to have that kind of insurance behind the Heisman Trophy winner, huh? Well, let's see how Andy Dalton comes back from the interception now. Starting at the 16-yard line. Matthew Tucker in the backfield now, and he'll get the call on the counter. Tucker got his head down and got out to the 20.
It's interesting. When we talked to Andy Dalton, we said, okay, you know, you had a tough game. You were the first to admit it in that Fiesta Bowl. What did you learn? What was your takeaway from that game? He said, I learned that I've got to stay even keel.
Right.
I can't get too high, too down. I've got to, because everybody's looking at me, and I've got to stay even keeled. So right now he has that opportunity to show that to his team. After the interception that led to the touchdown, he's still the leader of this football team.
Second down at 7. As you look at Dalton again in an empty backfield. They throw the screen out in the flats. And that one's going nowhere. Nice defense. Ed Wesley dropped by Brandon Harden. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Todd, to follow up on your point, after that interception, Andy Dalton of TCU came over to the sideline. Nothing in his face would suggest that he was panicking or having inner turmoil. He was calm. His facial expression never changed. He didn't yell at anyone. He didn't get frustrated with anyone. It was cool as ice. He learned from that experience last year. He cannot show that panic to his teammates, who he said everybody was freaking out when things didn't go well early in the Fiesta Bowl. He's not doing that tonight.
So they just weren't in sync and on the right page in that entire game. So far in this first quarter, they aren't necessarily either. He's flushed out of the pocket. He'll keep it and diving for the first down. So he keeps his cool, gets what he can, and gets down, and his first down, Horned Frogs.
And my dad, who was a longtime football coach, always used to tell me, you've got to stay cool in the head but hot in the heart. And that's what Andy Dalton's doing right now. And right there you see coaches have talked to him about sliding. He says, I'm not comfortable with sliding. I'd rather dive and make sure I can avoid the hit that way. And because he dove, he was able to get the first down on that run.
You saw his head coach, nothing cool about Gary Patterson. He's dropping sweat bullets over there already. The roof is open tonight, by the way, at Cowboys Stadium. It was closed until earlier and took about 12 minutes for him to open things up. Reminder, Monday night you can catch another big game as Kellen Moore and Boise State take on the Hokies of Virginia Tech. The All-State kickoff in the Capitol, part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week on ESPN, 8 o'clock Eastern time on Monday night. Of course, that game and this game, everybody feel will shape the entire season for the non-automatic qualifiers. Boise State and TCU both in the top 6 after their great season a year ago that ended with Boise State's win in the Fiesta Bowl over this very team that we're watching tonight. Pickup of about 3. Stephen Paya drops Matthew Tucker, but they're going to move the sticks.
You know, it's pretty interesting. We talked about Andy Dalton being the winningest active quarterback, but look at number 2 and 3, the two guys that'll square off in that game Monday night. Kellen Moore of Boise State and Virginia Tech's Tyrone. Ultimately, as a quarterback, that's how you're judged.
Right.
Wins and losses, not stats, not numbers. The only number that counts is wins.
Colt McCoy's got the record as now a member of the Cleveland Browns. First down, play action. Dalton wants it all. Deep ball, got a man and got him in stride. On the run and all the way to the 10 is Sky Dawson. And he's a world-class track guy, and he showed his speed there.
Well, Dawson showed his speed, showed his poise, because Taylor Henry, number 91, is bearing down on him from his backside. And if he holds it a half second longer, that's a sack. He waits, he throws a perfect throw to Dawson, and Dawson's speed gets the separation for the big play.
52 yards all the way down to the 10-yard line. And on a quick snap and first down, it's Matthew Tucker for about 3. He spotted down at the 7, where it's going to be second down and goal. TCU in the red zone last year, 85%. 51 of 60. Their scoring opportunities. Right now they're set up at the 7-yard line. Wesley back in there as the tailback. Bart Johnson was a motion man. It's the option that way. And Wesley maybe got to the 5, close to it anyway. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
Nice job by Wesley avoiding a negative play. Dwight Roberson, number 59 for Oregon State, was in the backfield defending that option well, and Wesley was able to just kind of step away from him and at least advance the football.
Boy, Ed Wesley just told one of the wide receivers to get off the field. Josh Boyce just about threw him to the sideline. Empty backfield for Dalton. 9th play of the Horned Frog drive on a 3rd and goal.
Watch the quarterback run here as well.
He's going to run. I don't know if it was by design, but he heads to the pylon. Touchdown. Andy Dalton scores, and we're an extra point away from a tie game. Ross Evans in for the point after. Seven. Dalton with a long pass play to Sky Dawson, and then he does it himself. He came back pretty well, didn't he, from that interception, leading an 84-yard touchdown drive and scoring himself.
The 2010 Cowboys Classic is presented by Hampton Hotels. At Hampton, we love having you here. And in part by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Tie game at 7, midway point of the first quarter of the Cowboy Classic. Part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week. TCU, an impressive drive led by their senior quarterback. Sharples to kick. Poyer and Rogers again wait on the other end. It'll be James Rogers again, this time from about the 6. Weaving his way through traffic, and he's out to the 30. Nice return. 24 yards again. Let's go back to the touchdown. Dalton does it himself, Todd.
Well, he does. Now, first of all, as you mentioned, Ed Wesley had to take Josh Boyce, who's a redshirt freshman, say, get out of here. You're not in this formation. And then Dalton, it was not a design quarterback run, but he had 5 receivers, and when everybody started covering receivers and crossing the field, he saw a seam and did the smart thing. For the second time on this drive, on a 3rd down play, he came up with a clutch run, this time 6 yards for the touchdown.
That tied it, and now Oregon State goes back to work from its own 30. Cats pump fake and gives it to Quiz Rogers. And Jaquiz got about 3 as we check in with Reese in the studio.
Brad, Alabama, San Jose State again with the Taco Bell studio update. The redshirt freshman A.J. McCarron at quarterback for Alabama. Check out this grab by Julio Jones. One hand for the touchdown. Julio has 5 catches in the first half so far, and the Crimson Tide is up 28-3. Penn State coming up next week, as you guys well know.
All right, Reese, that one's got to be the top 10 plays of the day, I would think. Along maybe with the interception by Sanders Cummings today at Georgia, a one-handed grab. James Rogers, really no gain on the play.
Well, TCU, one thing they're prepared for is the fly sweep. I mean, that's one of the staples of this Oregon State offense with James Rogers, and the speed of this TCU defense is going to string that play out most of the time.
Yeah, here's a big 3rd down for Oregon State, trying to answer the long drive by the Horned Frogs.
And here's Daniels again right here, the guy they got to account for in this pass protection.
Cats fires deep on the sideline. Aaron Nichols, what a catch, what a throw. And a 1st down at TCU territory. They got 20 on 3rd and 8.
Aaron Nichols is one of those dependable receivers. He's played all 3 of their receiver spots during his career, but he's starting at the X or the split end spot now as a senior. Does a nice job running the out route, catch, and got the 1 foot down. You only need 1 in.
TCU is going to take a timeout, I think. Gary Patterson may be hoping that the guys upstairs, led by Jim Blackwood, our replay official, our officials from the Big 12, by the way, that they'll take a look at this.
I think the only question is, was he bobbling the ball at all? Because it looked like his left foot was down.
We'll take another look as we go to break, and we'll have an answer for you when we come back. Gary Patterson called a timeout to make sure that the officials took another close look at that. They look at every play, obviously, but this was never under official review because it was a catch and a great one by Aaron Nichols as he stretched out, got his left foot and knee down before he flew out of bounds. So it's a first down, Oregon State at the TCU 48-yard line.
We've seen a good blend of run and pass so far for Oregon State. We haven't seen any misdirection yet, and I would expect to see that soon against this fast flow TCU defense.
I wonder if they get a screen maybe to Quiz Rogers at some point. They hand it off to him here. And that TCU defense is tough to run against. They were third in the country last year. They gave up only 80 yards a game on the ground. And, of course, Jaquiz Rogers was one of the most prolific runners in college football last year.
Well, they're both just so dynamic. And the thing about them, they're both 5'7", about 190 pounds, but they play much bigger than their size would suggest. They're physical. Even that run in between the tackles for a 5'7", 190-pound tailback, he's not afraid to stick his nose in there.
Katz over the middle and got it to James Rogers, and it's a first down to the 36-yard line.
See, this is where I think the Oregon State passing game creates problems for a defense, even a good defense like TCU. That time, Jaquiz goes out in the flat, so you got to pay attention to him, and that allowed James to just sit right down in a hole in between defenders. Both those guys on the same side of the field, you got to account for both of them, and James Rogers was left open.
James, who has a touchdown catch tonight, trots out to the top of your screen. He picked up 9 there. Now they go to the Wild Beavers set, except there's going to be flags come in before they can get the snap. You saw Katz trying to get over to become a wide receiver, and they were going to direct snap it to Jaquiz Rogers. But the umpire did away with that.
Well, the question is, was there a lineman who moved for Oregon State? Katz is allowed to move and change formations. There was definitely movement by the TCU defensive front, but were they drawn off by movement from an offensive lineman?
Carl Richens is our referee.
Dead ball. Offside. Or 57. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, it goes against the defense, but it kind of spoils what Oregon State wanted to do.
Well, they'll take 5 yards, though, against this defense in scoring territory. I mean, Corey Grant is going to react to the movement of the quarterback. See, he goes, and there's Grant jumping off sides because of the movement of the quarterback.
Now they will go back to the same set. Quiz Rogers to take a direct snap on 1st and 5. And he blasts off the left side inside the 30. Got a yard or two. Tank Carter made the tackle.
Yeah, and Tanner Brock came flying in there as well. The new middle linebacker who's taking the place of Darrell Washington. The key losses for this defense. Jerry Hughes, who was a first-round pick by the Colts, a defensive end. He's on the sidelines tonight. And there he is right there in the black shirt. And Darrell Washington, the middle linebacker, who's now the starting linebacker for the Arizona Cardinals.
Second down here for Katz. Draw play to Rogers. And Jaquiz is all covered up. No gain. Tyler Luttrell, one of the first guys there. And it'll bring up another third down situation.
Even though Jaquiz has been pretty bottled up so far, you've got to keep mixing and matching with the pass and the run, because he's capable of busting one out if a defense loses assignment. Plus, you have to keep that defense honest. He's only got 8 yards on 5 rushes, but they've got good balance in their offense so far.
Now his brother joins him in an I backfield. Quiz in the stance. James, the tailback. Katz in trouble. Got away from it and throws it incomplete, intended for James Rogers. Would have been right at the first down stick. And so it's 4th down. Tank Carter got the pressure that flushed Katz out of the pocket, so the field goal unit will come out.
And with a name like that, he had to be a linebacker. You know, I mean, he couldn't be a kicker or anything else named Tank. Well, he had to be a linebacker.
His real name's Ricky, but ever since he was a little kid, he's been Tank.
It's perfect.
It fits.
It does.
Justin Cahoot will try the field goal. He was 22 out of 27 last year. His career long is 50. This one's from 47. Kick on the way. Pushed it to the left. And the Beavers miss a scoring opportunity, and that's a happy coach on the sideline. So it stays 7-7. TCU will take over after we check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
Pac-10 Mountain West, at least for now, matchup between Washington and BYU. Washington down 13-7. Jake Locker's got the great arm and the good wheels, too. It's just inside the pylon. Locker 8 for 13 so far. One in the air, one on the ground. Huskies up by a single.
One of the great dual threats in college football, Jake Locker. Here's a guy that's not bad either, Andy Dalton at the controls, and he'll keep it. And he's got a first down right on cue. Pickup of 12.
When your quarterback is a viable running threat, it just creates more dilemmas for a defense. They already spread you out by their formations, and then the speed of their wide receiver group you've got to respect. And then when the quarterback can run as well, makes it doubly difficult.
Dalton in the gun. Bart Johnson in motion on a first down. Play action. Firing out. Ooh. Johnson made the catch, and he maybe wishes he hadn't. He got leveled out there in the flat. Tuimane let him have it after this reception.
Yeah, he's right on it. It was a good throw by Dalton, but good defense, better defense by Oregon State. Tuimane was a guy who lost his confidence last year. I mean, they groomed him to be a starter as a junior. He had some trouble in pass coverage. He became a special team star, but he's back out there now as a starting safety.
Second down and 8 for TCU. Fly sweep coming with that speed again. Dawson, he got dropped as he was approaching midfield. Got to the 48-yard line. James Dockery made the tackle. We'll bring up third down. Dockery, one of the captains of the defense, making his 14th career start.
See, this is perfect situation, third down for TCU, because it's third down and less than 5. So that means everything is open to them. They can throw, they can hand it off, or your quarterback Dalton can run. You've got lots of options with this yardage on third down.
Tucker's in the backfield with Dalton. Option. Tucker gets the pitch. Tucker gets the first down. Again, showing their versatility. Dalton, several times on that scoring drive, kept it himself to convert third downs. This time the pitch out to his tailback.
When you have to defend both pass and run on third down as a defense, you're at a disadvantage. I mean, the offense has the upper hand in that situation, and they made it count that time.
So now it's at the 46-yard line, back in Beaver territory. Dalton under center. Rolls out. Plenty of time. Deep middle. Just overshot Jimmy Young, who might have had a catch and maybe even a touchdown. Well, ESPN2's coverage of Major League Baseball and the hunt for October continues tomorrow night. Giants take on the Dodgers. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell as part of the hunt for October presented by Lee Jeans on ESPN2 and ESPN3.com. 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Hallie Rowe in the Cowboy Classic here in Arlington. Late in the first quarter, tie game between 6th-ranked TCU and number 24 Oregon State. Tried a little quick opener to Matthew Tucker, and he got only about a yard. This is the house that Jerry built. Jerry Jones on the right. Larry Scott on the left. Commissioner of the Pac-10. And what a spectacular football facility. There's nothing better. If you've never been here, if you get the chance, trust Todd and I, we've been here twice now.
Yeah.
I could do a game here every week, wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. Six Flags is right next door.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything on this place, though. Jeez.
Third down and long. 3rd and 9 as Dalton has time. Running out of it. And he'll go down. Stephen Paya.
Yep.
The big guy from his tackle position. Preseason All-American. And that ends the quarter with a sack of the TCU quarterback. It's been a good one so far. Dalton with a scoring run. Cats with a scoring throw. Oregon State and TCU tied at 7 here in Arlington.
You're watching ESPN, new home of the Bowl Championship Series.
And TCU, part of the BCS last year, got out to the Fiesta Bowl and lost. They'd love to get back there again because that would mean they'd be playing for the whole enchilada, or in that case, all the Tostitos. The national championship game there this year. Start of the second quarter as Anson Kelton will punt, and James Rogers back at his own 10-yard line. Trying to keep it out of his hands. I don't think he's going to, but he's hit immediately. Nice coverage. Wobbly kick didn't travel that far, but it did keep James Rogers from doing any further damage. He did do some damage, though, in the first quarter. The long touchdown pass from Ryan Katz, and Oregon State took advantage of the turnover they got by the early interception by Dalton.
And Katz looks comfortable. The only thing for Oregon State I think they've got to do in this possession is they've got to get Jacquizz Rodgers the ball in space.
Right.
They've handed it off to him. He hasn't had much room to run. Look to see him throw the ball to him. Try to get him out in space, see if he can make somebody miss.
He's in the backfield right now. They haven't tried the screen pass yet, but it's a valuable tool. Play action. Katz throws it deep out, had it tipped. Nice job getting a hand on that to break it up. Ibiloye, who's had kind of a tough game so far, made a nice play on that one.
Yeah, he did. He had the underneath coverage, so he was responsible for getting underneath that out route that James Rogers was running, and he almost got the interception.
Alex Ibiloye, a senior grad student, in fact, out of Garland, Texas, makes the play and brings up a second down at 10. Katz with 3 wideouts and his tight end camp on the right side, and here's Jacquizz Rodgers trying to make his own space, and he does, out for a first down. Nice run, the best of the night for Jacquizz. He got 14.
Well, he's powerful, he's built low to the ground, and he's not going to come down with arm tackles, so you better swarm to the football when he gets it. A little delay draw. Nice job in there blocking by his right guard, Burke Ellis, number 74, that kind of sprung him. And then look at his brother James Rogers blocking for him on the second level.
So first down out at the 34-yard line. Give it to him again. This time tough sledding on the inside. Maybe got a yard. And Todd was talking about James Rogers. One of the things he likes to do for his little brother, who's 13 months younger, is block out there for him.
I love the way he runs. I mean, he runs hard and makes a few guys miss, and having to block for him is very hard because you don't know which way he's going to go. So you try to give him a two-way go when you're blocking a defensive back or a linebacker. So I just had to say running, like just being able to see him out there make a few moves.
He's made a few, but he hasn't broken a big one. The 14-yarder earlier in this drive is the biggest so far. Katz fires, and slipping out there on his break was James Rogers. So it's incomplete. It'll bring up third down and long.
TCU came with the blitz. It was single coverage out there, and that time Greg McCoy, who's been victimized a couple times tonight, got the better of it with James Rogers. There's contact, and as he's coming out of that contact, James Rogers slips and falls down, and the pass goes incomplete.
And the blitz came from that side, so Katz had the right idea where he wanted to go with the ball. And now it's third and long. And the fans here coming to life for the TCU defense. 3-man rush. Katz has time. And now he's going to try to tuck it and get what he can. It won't be enough, but he's close to the first down. About a yard shy.
You don't see TCU's aggressive defense do that too often. A 3-man rush, and they dropped 8. But, you know, sometimes you choose to blitz a young quarterback. Sometimes you choose to confuse one. And they confused him a little bit this time. Way too many defenders there for him to find an open man. And the umpire,
Wiley Willingham took a pretty big shot there, didn't he?
He sure did.
Tyler Luttrell got him right on the side of the head. But he popped right up, and he's ready to go. He's a wily one. Johnny Hecker to punt. Jeremy Curley back deep. And they're going to fake the punt. The throw's complete. First down and a bunch more. Jordan Poyer on the pass from Johnny Hekker.
I saw them work on this Wednesday in practice. Hekker was a high school quarterback before he came to Oregon State. He's an excellent punter, and he just raised up and made a beautiful throw to the out route. And he has the choice of picking which side he wants to work. No indecision, no hesitation, and a perfect throw to the outside to Poyer for the first down.
Remember, a fake punt by Boise State's what did in TCU in the Fiesta Bowl last year. So here's a 22-yard pickup and new life for the Oregon State offense at the 34-yard line. Katz wants it all. Going to the corner. Touchdown. Jordan Bishop. $34 yards for the score.
Boy, what a nice play call that time by Danny Langsdorf, the offensive coordinator. That was nice.
Cahoon in for the point after. Moments ago, it looked like TCU would be on offense going the other way. Instead, in two big plays, it's 14-7 Oregon State. Mike Riley pulled one out of his hat first with a fake punt as Hekker throws a dart to Poyer on the outside. And then just one play later, Ryan Katz in his first start, his second touchdown pass of the night. The Beavers trying to surprise the number 6 team in the country, 14-7. Back at the Cowboy Classic, 14-7 after an 81-yard drive was capped by Ryan Katz's second touchdown throw of the night. And it was a beauty. He put it in the one spot that it had to be, and we'll take a look at it here in a minute.
Yeah, two beautiful throws in that drive.
Yeah.
Hekker had the first one.
Josh Boyce and Jeremy Curley are back deep, awaiting Justin Cahoot's kick. And it's short to the near side. Curley's going to have to track it down at about the 7. Curley out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. It's time to take a look at our protection spotlight, brought to you by Castrol GTX. And Todd will pick it up here.
Well, I'll tell you, here's what TCU's thinking. We've got to account for James Rogers and Jaquiz Rogers. Where are they going to be? But they didn't account for Jordan Bishop, who's going to run the post route for the touchdown. The linemen do their job.
There's your protection.
Yep. And then the beautiful throw by Katz.
So now let's see if TCU's got an answer. Trailing by a touchdown. Give to Ed Wesley. They're trying to establish a little ground game, and Wesley just got him some. It'll be a first down run, pickup of 11. Wesley and Tucker almost interchangeable, really. Both went over 600 yards last year. Both averaged over 6 yards a carry. And they had 12 rushing touchdowns between the two of them.
And running the football is what TCU did the best last year. They were 5th in the country in running the football. Averaged over 239 yards per game.
And everybody jumps here. Let's see if it's a false start, or if there was contact made by Oregon State defensively. Haven't had a lot of flags so far, which is good for a first game.
Dead ball. Offside. Number 78. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It indeed was against Mike Riley's Beavers. Brandon Olander. Monday night big game. Number 3 Boise State. Number 10 Virginia Tech. It's the All-State kickoff in the Capitol, part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week. Monday night, 8 o'clock. That'll be another dandy. One of 3 games involving teams both ranked in the top 25. The one you're watching right now is one as well, as a first down run by Wesley, out to midfield where Mitchell made the stop.
I think this is a good idea by TCU's offense. They've got co-offensive coordinators, Jared Anderson and Justin Fuente. I think last year in that loss to Boise State, they got away from their running game a little bit. Only 36 yards rushing on 20 carries. They got a little pass heavy in that game. Maybe panicked a little bit when things weren't going well, but their strength is running the football.
Dalton off his back foot just puts one up for grabs and is going to be pass interference. Luckily, actually, for Bart Johnson, Lance Mitchell, I think, just got lost and got tangled up. And that'll be a first down for TCU.
Well, what happened was Bart Johnson was so open.
Defense number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Bart Johnson was so wide open that Andy Dalton just wanted to get the ball to him. But he didn't have enough on it, and so Johnson had to wait for the ball. And when that happened, Lance Mitchell was able to make contact. This is actually a better play for Oregon State, because if Dalton throws that deep enough, it's a touchdown. As a result, it's just a 15-yard penalty against the defense.
So it puts it at the 35-yard line for the first down. And a two tight end set for the first half tonight for the Horned Frogs. And Dalton will be all alone in the backfield. He's going to be joined by Tucker momentarily, though. First and 10. Tucker. Inside run. They got about 3. Down to the 32. Tony Wilson made the stop along with Keith Pankey, the linebacker. Pankey coming back from an injury. That's been quite a story. Torn Achilles. They had some Achilles problems on this team on the defensive side of the football, but you played with his daddy.
Yeah, I sure did. Irv was a big offensive lineman, was a senior when I was a freshman, and then got drafted by the Rams. He actually ruptured both of his Achilles in his pro career. So
maybe it's hereditary.
Yeah.
Second down and 7. Play action. Dalton, plenty of time, fires near side. What a catch inside the 20 by Curtis Clay. And boy, Andy Dalton got some smoke on that one. Pickup of 13. Tuimane was out there covering, but not covering well enough from a throw like this one.
Yeah, strong throw from the hash to the opposite side. Good blend of run pass right now for TCU. You put this Oregon State defense back on their heels a little bit.
TCU going without a huddle, and they drew Haya, I think, the guy that jumped in there off sides, and they're going to get a free 5 out of this one too, and that'll give Dalton a chance to run over to the sideline.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Stephen Paya was the guy that jumped in the middle, and he's pointing at himself as if to say, my fault. He is a load.
Yeah. And an amazing story. I mean, he was a former rugby player from Tonga. Didn't play football until he was a senior in high school, and has developed rapidly into now a guy that NFL scouts are saying is one of the top 2 or 3 defensive tackles coming out next year.
Dalton gives it off on a sweep. Wesley to the corner, and it's first and goal. Got it down to about the 2-yard line. I think is where they're going to spot it. Pickup of 11. That's one of the best runs tonight by Ed Wesley.
Yeah, a more determined running game for TCU in this drive. The other thing that the running game does is it punishes the defense. It takes some steam out of them when you fire off the ball and run the football at them. So Oregon State defense trying to bring some different guys in and some subs.
And Oregon State will take a timeout to make sure they get the defense they want out there. So it's going to be first and goal for TCU, but right now let's check in with Reese.
Brad, North Carolina turned it over deep in their own end twice. The first time they lived to tell about it, but not this time against LSU. Jordan Jefferson, with a guy in his mustache, finds Russell Shepard. Game's on ABC, the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. The Mad Hatters team on top by a touchdown.
Well, we're 14-7 here, but 2 yards away from being tied once again. Oregon State called that timeout. They bring out their defensive alignment. When TCU set up before that timeout, they had Antoine Hicks in a full house backfield with the fullback Luke Shivers and Matthew Tucker, the tailback, and that's what they've got again. Inside handoff. Pickup of about a yard as Shivers got him close. He's not a bad choice. He's had 7 career touches, and he scored 4 touchdowns. Shivers, that is. 3 touchdowns on the ground on 4 carries before that one. 2 career receptions have also netted him a touchdown. That time he got about a foot short. Now Curley in motion on a 2nd down and goal. Bootleg, throw to the end zone, wide open. Curley, touchdown. Andy Dalton, a 1-yard touchdown throw to Jeremy Curley.
Really liked the play calling on that drive for TCU. They made a commitment to the running game. That set up play action, and then down on the goal line on 2nd down, a great play action down. The good fake by Dalton. He hid the football, and then the nice soft toss to Curley.
Evans in for the point after, and it's up and good. And it caps another long TCU drive. We've had some great-looking drives tonight by both teams. Tie game, 14-14. 7-play march and 74 yards, led by Andy Dalton. And we're even here with 8:39 remaining in the first half. Of course, a lot of conference shuffling going on in the offseason as Utah and Colorado will become part of the Pac-10. The Big Ten, Nebraska will be in next year. BYU, the announcement this week that they go independent and leave this Mountain West Conference that TCU belongs to. With more on that, let's go to Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, the coolest thing is this is the conference commissioner for the Pac-10. Check out how he's keeping up on his other schools right now and their scores. He's got the iPad going. I mean, this is a pretty technology savvy guy. I'm impressed, I just have to say. Why have you taken it to that level?
Well, we're in the most technologically advanced stadium in the world, New Cowboy Stadium. We've got a 60-yard scoreboard here. We got 4 teams playing at the moment. It's a good way for me to catch up while I'm on the road.
For those of us who want to catch up on what's happening with the conferences, you've said that your university presidents expect change. What do you think is the priority for you now after you've added 2 schools?
Yeah. Well, we're getting ready for upcoming media negotiations, just looking to market the conference more as a national brand. The results of the Pac-10 on the field, on the court, have been terrific, but Pac-10's been a little passive, and we're just looking to step up our game a little bit.
How likely would it be that we see further expansion?
Well, for us, I think we're focused on 12, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see further expansion over time. I think over history, there have been regular moves, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see super conferences in the future.
You see by BYU go independent. Pat Hayden at USC has made some remarks about that. What concerns do you have about losing members?
I think amongst the top 6 BCS conferences, it really doesn't make any sense for schools to think about independence. The scale you get by being part of a conference, the leverage, the exposure, the revenue, the academic affiliation, the home for other sports, especially a conference like the Pac-10 where you're won more NCAA championships than any other. I don't think that's something the top 6 conferences really think about.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. And thanks for being so cool on the sideline. I'm just impressed by that iPad.
Thanks.
Boy, when Larry got that job, he hit the ground with the wheels churning. And so the face of that conference will be dramatically changed. Loss of 1 by Jaquiz Rogers. Tank Carter made the stop. Tank's a preseason choice as the defensive player of the year in the Mountain West. Andy Dalton, his quarterback, preseason choice, and the guy that won the offensive player of the year award last season.
Larry Scott, I'm impressed with what he's done, and I think the Pac-10 is going to be the most exciting conference to watch this year because of the talent level, and especially at the skill position this season.
Well, they've got great running backs, some big-arm quarterbacks, and great receivers, as we've seen James Rodgers tonight, and this kid might be right in the mix. Cats, although nice play defensively by Greg McCoy to level Alahuni after he made the catch. Oregon State, you talk about USC, of course, they've had a great record in national championships, and Oregon, they're cross-state rivals. But you look at what Oregon State and Mike Riley's done in now his 10th season and his 2nd stint, really, at Oregon State after going to be the head coach of the San Diego Chargers. They've been sensational. They just haven't been good in pre-October road games. 1-12. Tonight they're playing a lot better. Katz, boy, he wanted to wind up and flip it, but he comes back to his safety valve, Rodgers, and it's a first down.
Boy, great protection again, and Katz didn't panic. You know, he stayed in there. He surveyed the defense. He knew that he was protected, and he makes the nice throw to Rodgers on the sideline. Watch his protection. Now, it's only a 3-man rush, but Katz doesn't panic. He says, I got 5 blocking 3. I can wait until James opens up, and he gets the completion.
Greg McCoy and James Rodgers had a hand fight going on there. They both had a piece of jersey of the other guy. It nets Rodgers another catch and another first down at the 40-yard line. Here's a fly sweep. Marcus Wheaton. And Wheaton out of bounds as we check in with Reese Davis again. Reese?
Brad, Oklahoma taking on Utah State. Landry Jones led the nation's freshman with nearly 3,200 yards, 26 touchdown tosses. Ryan Broyles had an Oklahoma record 15 touchdown catches. There's one against Utah State. Sooners only up 11 at the break.
Well, of course, last year Oklahoma opened up the college football season here at the Cowboys Classic, and we saw Sam Bradford go down to injury. That we want to avoid tonight. Ryan Katz wants to avoid the blitz. He throws one in the ground. Closest guy was Quiz Rodgers. Tyler Luttrell and Wayne Daniels were chasing him down from behind.
Yeah. Well, they tried to set up a little play-action screen to Quiz Rodgers. It was a blitz coming from the opposite side by TCU, and it's really a pretty smart play by Katz because that play had no chance.
Well, guys, knowing that they'd see a lot of blitzes tonight, Ryan Katz prepared for it in the offseason. Every single scrimmage, every practice, they would add an extra blitz period. That's something he's been trying to get better at picking up, guys. He did a good job there.
Here he is on 3rd and 4. Incomplete, intended for Aaron Nichols. Nice job by Katz of just sliding away from the pressure, but then he had to throw back across his body, and he didn't get that one quite where he wanted to.
Well, it's okay to slide, but right here he's got to reset his feet because when he slides left and tries to throw, you can't be accurate that way. Slide away from the pressure and then quickly reset your feet and make an accurate throw because he had a man open.
Well, Johnny Hecker will be in punt formation. Remember, they faked the punt last time, kept their drive alive as he threw a 22-yard completion that ended up leading to a touchdown. We're going to assume that he's going to punt it away to Jeremy Curley. And whistle stopped play before he got the kick away.
Fraudulent snap, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Well, they can back him up and he can take a longer shot at it if he wants to. And with that, we get our trivia question for tonight. Who's the only defensive player to win the Davey O'Brien Award? Davey O'Brien, of course, was a TCU alum. It's a little bit of a trick question. As you're thinking quarterback, think outside the box, folks. Here's Hecker. And Curley. Fair catches at about the 16-yard line. 43-yard kick. TCU tied it up last time. They'd like to get the lead back. They've got 6 minutes to work with when we come back.
The 2010 Cowboys Classic, brought to you by Kingsford Charcoal. For your chance to win a $10,000 backyard makeover, play Kingsford College Showdown on ESPN.com.
Reminder, they're going to rev things up at AMS tomorrow night. Atlanta Motor Speedway in Atlanta. The Sprint Cup Series is in Atlanta. Only 2 races remain for Jamie McMurray and Mark Martin to get off the bubble and then into the chase. Coverage starts NASCAR countdown at 7. Racing begins at 7:30. Luttrell went off favoring.
Yeah,
it looked like he's in a lot of pain.
I think it's his hamstring, and that could be a critical loss. You know, they start 3 safeties in this 4-2-5 defense, and he's one of the 3.
The offense for TCU out there, they got 6 minutes. And 2 timeouts to work with after a nice drive last time. Matthew Tucker with Dalton in the backfield. Andy with a play action, rolls to throw. And does. And throws a strike. Incomplete. Antoine Hicks had a play on it and couldn't hold it. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A drive recap, though. The last time they got the ball, a nice play by Curtis Clay to snare that shot from Dalton. Then it was Ed Wesley that got it down close to the goal line. And then Andy Dalton throws it out to Jeremy Curley for the touchdown, and that was what tied us up to cap a 74-yard march.
Now they got the touchdown by throwing it, and they made a couple completions, but it was power running. I mean, they punished the Oregon State defense in that drive.
Dalton flushed out of the pocket, trying to get rid of it to the sideline, and he actually completed that on the far side. Are you kidding me? To Curley, and Dalton was falling down when he threw that thing. Stephen Pyle was coming like a locomotive, and Andy Dalton did this.
Well, he does a great job just getting away. And then the strength, I mean, he was just trying to throw this away. He wasn't trying to throw a completion. He was trying to throw it up in the seats, but he didn't get enough on it, but he did get enough on it to get a completion.
And that gives him a chance to pick up the third down, 3rd and 5. 7 out of 11 so far. A touchdown and an interception for Andy Dalton, the senior quarterback out of Katy, Texas.
They've run every third down play so far.
He rides his tailback and then tries to do it himself, and he's got another first down. 4th time he's picked up a first on a third down run.
Because the third down yardage needed has been manageable, they've been able to run every third down play, and that just increases your chances. This is a little pistol formation, fake to the back, and it's the keep by the quarterback. A little different formation on this third down play, but the same result. Quarterback keeps, has an option threat, and gets the first down.
At the 29-yard line. Dalton play action. Deep out, and overshot Curley, his intended receiver. Holly.
Well, guys, Luttrell over here on the sideline, they're not sure if it's a pulled left hamstring or if just he's cramping up. He's trying to walk around on the sideline to see if the pain will go away, but he keeps grabbing his head, shaking his head. It seems like he felt something serious. Guys, this would be a huge loss. Think about it. Last year at this time, he was a 4th-string wide receiver. They said, we need you at safety, and so he did everything he had to do. He became their starting safety, and this would be a huge loss for them, not emotionally, but also X and O wise.
He's hoping he won't have to test it until the 3rd quarter, and maybe at halftime they'll have a little more time to rest. But right now, here's Dalton trying to throw a block for his tailback, who came back the other way and picked up about 4. Brandon Harden made the stop on Ed Wesley. If you're looking for the first time and you go, wait a minute, I thought I was watching TCU, and I don't get the uniforms. As you take a look at Wesley on this cutback run, and the quarterback getting a decent block, a little bit in there for Andy, put his head in there. New uniforms that they've never worn before, and it's horn frog skin basically for the helmets and the pants. So they got white, kind of whitish silver pants, and same with the helmets. I can't explain it. It looks like skin, though, for the most part.
They got a lot going on.
They got a lot going on. And here's Dalton. He's got something going on the ground again, although he's tripped up short of the first down, and flags fly into the secondary. This was near the end of the play, and I didn't get a preliminary signal on what it's about.
And again, a run on third down.
Might be a holding call that will give TCU a first down if it's holding defensively.
Wow. That could be a real break because they finally got him stopped.
It was actually when Dalton was just starting to hit the turf on his way down.
Illegal block in the back, number 80, offense.
Yeah, there we go.
Penalty decline, result of the play, 4th down.
The preliminary signals by Carl Richards were all going the wrong direction. That's what had us bamboozled a little bit. So now they will bring out the punting unit. Anson Kelton in punt formation, and James Rogers back deep.
I'm just guessing, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that Anson Kelton's the biggest punter in college football. At 6'4", 280.
I think you're right. He hit this one a mile in the air. James Rogers has got to take a fair catch call, and does at about the 15-yard line. Still got 3:29 remaining in the first half. Both teams with 14 on the board. Stick around.
I'm Reese Davis. Coming up on the Wendy's halftime report, we'll tell you why they are singing the Oxford Blues at the Right Reverend Houston Nutt's house. The Brantley era is rife with errors to start for the Gators this afternoon. And what a huge day for Michigan and a scintillating performance for a young quarterback. We'll show it all to you. Mark and Lou will join us. You guys, meanwhile, Brad, enjoying maybe the best first half of the day.
All right, Reese, we'll see you guys in about 3.5 minutes for the halftime reports. Mike Riley, the head coach of the Beavers. This is where your quarterback making a first start. Just be careful, right?
He's got to be smart right here. He's done everything that Mike Riley could possibly hope. He's thrown the ball well. He's managed the offense. Don't get careless or greedy right now here before the end of the half.
From the 16-yard line. And they'll keep it on the ground. Jaquiz Rogers keeps his balance, gets what he can, and picked up about 3.
He gained a few yards, but lost his shoe.
Yeah.
Now, Luttrell is out, as Holly mentioned. That hamstring injury not allowing him to come back in. So his replacement is Colin Jones, a senior from Bridgeport, Texas, number 28. Here he is right here. So this is a critical substitution in this defensive scheme. The safeties are the most active guys in this defense.
Cats, heavy pressure. Deep balls, got a man, and Bishop just about made the catch. And he's got to pick himself up and readjust his knee brace. Boy, he hung in till the last moment.
Yeah, kind of got sandwiched in there by Mapunga and Yendry. Both of them in there for the hit on the quarterback. He does make a nice throw under duress off his back foot. And again, here's where he's got to be smart. 3rd down and 8, deep in his own territory. Don't let TCU seize the momentum right here before halftime.
Jordan Jenkins in the backfield. He came in when Quiz Rogers went out with the shoe issue. Crossing pattern. Oh, what a hit. Put on Aaron Nichols by who else? Tank Carter. So it's 3 and out, and Nichols is still down after that collision. Well, you don't collide with a tank and get up right away.
It was a clean hit. And it just led with his shoulder. TCU called a timeout because that was a completion, so the clock was going to continue to roll. So Gary Patterson choosing to call a timeout to make sure the clock stopped.
Tank Carter, the top returning tackler on this team, and he laid the wood to Aaron Nichols on that one. Tank Carter was a world champion BMX rider back when he was a kid. Here's Tank, a.k.a. Ricky.
Took the lead right away, huh?
He takes the lead, and he never gives it up. That's a wire-to-wire job. That's a video from a race he won in Paris. And once he became a champion, he said, you know what, that's it. Put the bike away, give me the shoulder pads. Doing pretty well at both. Johnny Hecker set to punt. The spot on the field where maybe Jeremy Curley can get a return out of one of these. And here he comes on the fly at the 43. Curley down the sideline. Oh, it would have been gone. Hecker saved the touchdown.
Well, Hecker better have saved the touchdown because that was a poor kick. It was low, and it was right to Curley. I mean, that was a bad kick at the wrong time for Oregon State. Watch this ball leave Hecker's foot. Low, Curley's able to catch it moving up on the fly with a full head of steam. And so Hecker better stop the touchdown there.
34-yard return of a 35-yard kick, and now TCU is in business at the 23-yard line. They've got 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10, 2:28 till halftime. Dalton fakes the throw, quarterback draw, and nice job by Dwight Roberson, the captain of the defense, a linebacker, to stay home and make the tackle. Still plenty of time for TCU to work.
Yeah, lots of time for TCU. You mentioned the 1 timeout, but over 2 minutes. So nice situation for Andy Dalton to show his leadership, his senior leadership right now.
He's got 5 receivers out there, including Bart Johnson and Sky Dawson. with Ed Wesley, the tailback, the slot man, to the top of your screen. So it's Andy Dalton all by his lonesome in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Quick fire inside the 20 and a big hit put on Sky Dawson. He paid for that 4-yard pickup too. Brandon Harden, the junior out of Honolulu, said, "How are you?" right at the sideline. That brings up a 3rd down.
Now remember, TCU has run every 3rd down, I think, to this point. I bet they throw this one, though.
This one's a little longer.
No.
They're going to option it to Wesley, and he's got the 1st down and 1st and goal. Inside the 10 and a pickup of 10.
Every time they've gotten that pistol formation, which simply means the tailback lines up behind the quarterback in the shotgun. Watch, they start out, they run a speed option that way, and they catch the defense outflank. Bart Johnson, the wide receiver, with a nice block on the outside.
So they've got it 1st and goal now. Inside the 10. Wesley again, weaving his way. Touchdown. Horned Frogs have the lead for the first time tonight. Nice run. Ross Evans in for the point after. I don't know that you can totally blame the touchdown before halftime on a bad punt, but it certainly didn't help the cause much. 21-14 TCU.
Well, it allowed TCU to be ultra aggressive and just go at this Oregon State defense with great field position. And again, they went back to the power running to get down there. Watch this last run by Wesley. Nice job. They sealed things out. They blocked down, and a nice kick out block by the right guard, Josh Vernon, number 78, opens it up for Wesley.
I've been impressed with Wesley's running tonight. You don't talk much about the ground game at TCU necessarily because those guys split so much duty last year, meaning Wesley and Tucker. And of course, there's no LaDainian Tomlinson on this roster right now, but he's done a nice job here in the first half. 63 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. So still 49 seconds remaining, barring a big kick return. You would think that TCU would have the lead at the break, but there's been a lot of fireworks offensively in this first half.
TCU has played great defense over the years, but the bottom line, they've won 31 consecutive games when they've gained more yards rushing than passing. Running the football is what they do best on offense.
Sharple's kick. James Rogers from the 6. James Rogers trying to find himself a seam and got out to about the 30. Kenny Kane made the stop on the kick return. Well, a little bit earlier we asked you our trivia question, and it was, who's the only defensive player to win the Davey O'Brien Award? The trick in that is Davey O'Brien Award's a quarterback award now, but Mike Singletary of Baylor won it twice, 79 and 80. Davey O'Brien, who played here and was a Heisman Trophy winner in the late 30s, one of the greats after he took over after Sammy Baugh. Talk about one good one taking over after another good one. Cats, deep middle, and nobody home there. It was intended for Jordan Bishop. Davey O'Brien Award, speaking of that, my partner, former Davey O'Brien Award winner. My other older partner, Bob Greasy, just named as the Davey O'Brien Legends winner. That'll be presented to Grease back in late February. So, Bob, congratulations.
I'll be there. That's a great event. I go back every year. Tremendous event at the Fort Worth Club.
Here's a draw play. Quiz Rogers going nowhere. Wayne Daniels had a nice first half, and he stayed home, and it's a loss on the play. So they've done a nice job bottling up Jaquiz Rogers from his tailback position.
Mike Riley took a shot on first down to see if they could get one completion, and Katz kind of threw it in the middle of nowhere, and he said, that's it.
Yep.
We'll run the clock out now, go in at halftime, make some adjustments, see how we can get Quiz a little bit more involved.
A late touchdown by TCU after just having to go 23 yards following the punt return by Curley is the difference in the ball game so far.
TCU will get the ball to start the second half, so momentum clearly on their side right now.
Well, the TCU faithful happy. Andy Dalton has a touchdown pass in the first half, 21-14, as we check in with Holly.
Well, Coach, there are so many unknowns about Ryan Katz here. What do you think he's done in the first half?
Well, I think he's made some plays, and we haven't been very consistent, but he's made some plays, hit a couple of good passes, handling himself pretty well, I think. You know, we're not near as consistent as we need to beat this team, and that drive right before the half by them after the punt return was not a good deal. So we got to recover from that and get a stop early and go after him again.
How do you get Quiz loose? We haven't seen much from him.
No, you know, that's the biggest part of this game right now is they're running the ball better than we are. So we've got to find a way to get him going. They're a very good rush defense. We just got to do a better job of finding some stuff that he can do because he can run. We just got to find some lanes for him.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Mike Riley's team had 2 leads in this ball game, but they gave up the lead in the final minute before the half. TCU at the break leads at 21-14. Time now for the Wendy's halftime report. Reese Davis, Lou Holtz, Mark May. Fellas, take it away.
All right, Brad, you see those.
This is Dick's Sporting Goods Kickoff Week.
Welcome back to Arlington, Texas, the Cowboy Classic presented by Hampton Hotels. The home team, TCU, ranked 6th in the country, leading number 24, Oregon State, by a score of 21-14. Welcome back to Arlington and Cowboy Stadium, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Todd Blackledge. Holly Rowe will join us in just a second. Partner, I think there's a couple things as we go into the third quarter. I don't know if it's imperative that Oregon State gets a stop on TCU to start this third quarter, but they got to get Jaquiz Rogers somehow involved offensively.
Yeah, I think what Mike Riley said to Holly coming off the field is exactly right. TCU's ability to run and Oregon State's inability to run in that first half was the difference in the ball game. They've got to get Jaquiz more involved. This is a guy that gained over 1,000 yards back-to-back season.
Right.
He only had 24 yards in that first half, and 15 of it came on one run. So TCU did a great job of bottling him up in the first half.
So we'll see how that develops. TCU is going to have the football first. Remember, they got almost a gift touchdown in the final minute of the second quarter to take the lead for the first time. They have it as we start the third quarter, 21-14. And the kick will go to Jeremy Curley right at the goal line. Curley heads to the middle of the field, hurdles a man. We got a flag down way back here at about the 35-yard line. This year, wedge blocking is illegal on kick returns. I don't know that that might have been the call. We didn't get a preliminary signal again. Here is the call.
During the return, holding number 35 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's what happens when you don't wedge block. You hold people. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, coaches are never happy, but Gary Patterson was as happy as he could be with how his defense played against the run in the first half. What he didn't like was how they played against the big plays. He said, I knew exactly what pass was coming because of the formation. I told the defense, and they still gave up that big pass play. So, guys, he wants them to tighten it up there, but he said we've got to quit turning the ball over. He wants a senior quarterback to show some leadership in that regard.
Here's a senior quarterback in the shotgun inside the 10-yard line. As the line of scrimmage is a 14 for the Horned Frogs. And the quick throw out in the flat to Sky Dawson, trying to use that speed. We saw him use it in the first half on one of his pass receptions. Lance Mitchell puts him down, though, as he got out to the 20-yard line.
Well, interestingly, right now, Stephen Paia is not in the ballgame for Oregon State. Their best defensive lineman is standing on the sideline to start the third quarter, and that can't be good for Oregon State.
Here's a pistol set again with Ed Wesley, who was very, very efficient in the first half from the tailback spot behind Andy Dalton. Dalton may have changed things up there on a 2nd and 5. He tells Wesley to call. Rides it in his gut, and Wesley broke out of the pack. Out across the 25 to the 27, and Wesley's got a first down, pickup of 9.
It's a big offensive line for TCU. They got some guys playing in some different spots. Marcus Cannon, the starting left tackle, number 61, is 6'6". They list him at 350. I think he's bigger than that.
Couple of biscuits bigger than that, yeah.
He was a right tackle last year. He's the starting left tackle. Zach Roth is the starting right tackle. He was a guard last year, but they're big, big bodies up there, and they're having their way right now running the football.
Dalton slip screen to Curley, and that got it out to about the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 3. Marcus Cannon, right now, they say he's around 263. That's kind of the rumor around the locker room. As Todd said, he was the right tackle last year, and Jared Anderson, the offensive coordinator, calls him the dancing bear. That big, but still agile, and he is a load on the left side.
It's interesting. He said it takes him a couple weeks during training camp to get back interested in football. He just
especially when it's 105 degrees in practice. Paya's back in there now, the defensive front for the Beavers. Out of the shotgun. And Wesley got the corner. Turned up and short of the first down by about 1, I think. Ed Wesley quietly putting a nice night together. 10 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown.
Starting cornerback Brandon Harden just walked off the field after that last play. Number 17 for Oregon State, out of the game.
TCU, Todd, did a great job in the first half on their 3rd down conversions. The only 2 times they didn't pick them up, they were 3rd and 6 or longer. This is a short one.
Yeah, they averaged 3rd and 5.5 to go, and there's another conversion.
Matthew Tucker dances his way into the 2nd level, and a first down. Went on a quick snap there.
Yeah, they huddled, so it wasn't a no huddle, but it was quick to the line and quick snap, and they still caught the Oregon State defense not ready to play.
7 out of 9 on 3rd down. You win a lot of football games playing like that.
And you mentioned that the key to being successful on 3rd down is manageable distance. I mean, they haven't had to throw the football and make tough throws on 3rd down. They've been able to run it.
First down at the 42. Opening drive, 3rd quarter for the Horned Frogs. Here's a counter. Tucker. And Tucker now getting in there and spelling Ed Wesley, and he's getting his yards as we check in with Holly.
Well, guys, all through the preseason and since last season, Jaquiz Rogers was never tackled through practice. In fact, some of their staffs told me he wasn't tackled 1 time. So in the first half, several times I saw his body language. He was starting to get tired, and now look at him over here on the bench. He's just kind of chilling, relaxing. I don't know if he's tired, but the body language suggests it. Just wondering, how hard is it to suddenly get tackled in a game when you aren't used to it throughout the course of the preseason?
It doesn't look like he's into it at all, does he? 7th play of the TCU drive, opening up the 3rd quarter. As we said, you'd like to get the football back defensively. What a grab by Bart Johnson. Going down, got his hands out there and snared that one at the 38-yard line.
It was a great effort by Johnson. I thought this ball hit the ground. I mean, that's what it looked like to me, but Johnson made a great effort for it. Going down. No, what a great catch.
About 2 inches left.
That was a tremendous catch.
Yeah, it really was. You talk about getting your hands out and catching the football in front of you instead of using your body. You can't do it any better than that. Drive stays alive and moves to the 38-yard line of Oregon State. Here's Tucker. Puts his head down and dives inside the 35. Lance Mitchell, another tackle. Mitchell's been a busy safety back there. He's made a lot of stops tonight.
Well, you mentioned you don't know if it was absolutely necessary that Oregon State gets a stop in this drive. I think it is pretty critical because the TCU defense had dialed it up there in the 2nd quarter a little bit and tightened down. And if they put another score up here, it could be a long 2nd half for Oregon State.
They put Wesley at tailback out in a bunch to the right. They're going to throw it back to the left, though, and it's Dawson, beg your pardon, Hicks. Antoine Hicks with the catch. And he's down to the 22-yard line. Pick up a 13 more. Andy Dalton mixing it up pretty well right now.
Yeah. Well, they have weapons everywhere. They've got versatile backs. They've got talented wide receivers you have to account for, and a quarterback who can run. I mean, this is a very versatile offensive football team to go with, again, a defense that's been ranked #1 in the country the last 2 years in a row.
We asked them what they are missing offensively. They say, well, you miss Ryan Christian, who's a wide receiver type running back playing for the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL. But other than that, they got all their weapons back. And here's Dalton on a keeper. And Andy got to the 22-yard line. Paya made the stop, lost his lid in the process. Stephen Paya, after a workout in the spring, bench pressed 225 pounds 44 times, which would be one off the NFL Combine record. That's how strong this guy is. He came in here yesterday when the three of us were at the walkthrough, and he just looked around and he went, wow. All he could do is look at the video board here in this stadium, and he looked like a little kid, but he's anything but a little kid on that defensive front. Dalton throws out, flags are down. Wesley trying to break tackles and does inside the 20, but again, penalty marker at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal motion, number 88, offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Jimmy Young got a head start.
Well, the only thing that appears to be stopping TCU right now is TCU, because Andy Dalton is doing a brilliant job of spreading the ball around, mixing in the run. He's 4 for 4 on this drive to 4 different receivers. That one didn't count because of the penalty.
TCU has got 27 seniors on their roster, which ties for the #1 amount in all of college football. So they've got leadership from that quarterback position, and they've got a lot of other guys that are leaders as well. There's the option and the pitch to Tucker, and Tucker's inside the 15, close to another first down. Roberson with a tackle. Boy, nice 1-2 punch between Wesley and Tucker.
Yeah, they have really hurt him with the option when they've gotten outside. Dalton does a nice job of making decisions, taking it to the decision point, getting it outside, outflanking the defense, wide receivers blocking downfield. And they're wearing out this Oregon State defense because they're making them run side to side.
Not only are they not getting TCU's offense off the field, the quarter's half over. Dalton throws, and it's intercepted. There's the one mistake. And Dwight Roberson with a second interception of Dalton tonight. That puts the halt and the stop to what TCU was doing.
And that was a huge play for Oregon State because they weren't stopping him physically, but they got this interception that they needed.
They're down a touchdown, but they're on offense when we come back.
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
21-14, Oregon State stops any further damage with that interception. TCU, as we take a look at the red zone, brought to you by Verizon. An interception and 3 touchdowns in 4 possessions in the red zone tonight, but a costly one in the red zone by the redhead on that last throw. Dwight Roberson's first career interception gives it back to his offense at the 13-yard line. Ryan Katz loads and fires, and he throws it right back. Almost. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Jason Teague had it right between the 2 and the 7 and couldn't hold on. And Katz now is one of his last 6, Todd.
Yeah. Well, they were trying to get the ball to the tight end, Halahuni. He was double covered. I mean, there was not even a place for Katz to throw the football, and he was very, very lucky because he zeroed in on Halahuni to try to get him involved in the offense, and very fortunate that wasn't picked off.
Jason Teague, one of the new starting corners. Rafael Priest and Nick Sanders were 4-year starters for TCU in those positions. So new starting corners tonight, and he almost had the football right back for his offense. 2nd and 10 from the 13. Jaquiz spins and got it out. Tough run to the 21. One of his better runs of the night.
Well, he made a couple guys miss. There were guys that were unblocked, and Jaquez was able to make them miss right about the line of scrimmage. Right here, he makes 2 safeties miss, and he's able to pick up 5 or 6 yards.
I've said before doing Oregon State games, Quiz might be short, but he's not little.
Yep.
He is poured into that body, and he can take a shot and deliver one as well. Big third down right here. Maybe the biggest of the night so far for Oregon State. Cats, quick throw, got a first down. James Rogers, and he is going to be horse collared. That's going to be another 15 yards.
Boy, did you see James protecting the football? I mean, he was not letting go of this football. He had it high and tight. Tanner Brock's the guy that is going to be guilty of the horse collar. When I was up there Wednesday after practice, the Rogers brothers both were running sprints.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Number 35, defense. 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
They were running sprints together, carrying a football, and carrying it just like this. Watch him secure the ball after the catch. High and tight, not getting rid of the football, and getting extra yardage.
We talked about the Rogers brothers having so much family and friends from their hometown of Richmond, Texas here tonight. And they've got something to cheer about now because the Beavers are back in Horned Frog territory at the 42-yard line with a first down. Trailing by a touchdown. Cats going deep. Got a man out there and overshot him. Marcus Wheaton. And again, you see the arm of Ryan Katz. Maybe a little more air under that. That might be a touchdown, but he got it out there and got it all the way to the end zone.
I'm surprised they still have not been able to throw the ball to Jaquez Rogers yet. You know, last year he caught 78 balls, and that was up from 29 his freshman year, and they've not thrown it to him yet tonight.
And this one will be blown dead.
Yeah, that timeout was called from the sideline. Mike Riley had to call timeout there.
Timeout, Oregon State. There's their first of the half. Timeout.
With 6:33 remaining in the third quarter, head coach of the Beavers wants to talk it over with his troops. They've got a golden opportunity to try to tie this up when we come back. Back at the Cowboy Classic presented by Hampton Hotels. 21-14 TCU with 6.5 to go in the third quarter. With Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, I'm Brad Nessler. Nice to have you along on this Saturday night from Arlington, Texas. Oregon State trails by a touchdown. They got it 2nd and 10, though, in TCU territory. And deep middle, and what a strike thrown by Katz down to the 22-yard line to Halahouni, and he's still heading toward the end zone.
Now, the first time they were able to get him involved, remember they tried to throw to him on the first play of this possession, and it should have been intercepted. This time they find an opening, and he's a weapon in the middle of the field. A very good pass receiver. He's got good speed. Had 35 catches a year ago and does a nice job of hanging on to the football at the end of this catch.
Got it down to the 17, 25-yard pickup. Now it's an I backfield with Darkins, a fullback in there. One of the few times tonight we've seen this formation. Play action. Pass. Going to the corner where nobody's home. Let's check in with Reese Davis.
All right, Brad, LSU and North Carolina and the Bayou Bengals have 3 touchdowns of more than 50 yards, including this one from Jordan Jefferson to Ruben Randall coming into his own, once a highly touted receiver coming out of high school. 30-10 at halftime on ABC. And look at the Sooners in trouble at home against Utah State. A 7-point game. Utah State's got the ball.
Here, Oregon State driving in TCU territory. Jaquez Rogers got away, got the corner. Rogers.
What a great block by James Rogers. James Rogers said in that soundbite he likes to try to give his brother a two-way go. That means you want to just size up your man and let him go in or out. Watch the block by James Rogers on the cornerback, Greg McCoy. Stands him straight up and allows Jaquez to either go in or out, get to the corner, and get inside the 5-yard line.
So the Beavers bring in an extra tight end as they've got it at the 2-yard line, a 16-yard run. Actually, it's at the 1-yard line, a 16-yard run by Rodgers to get him close. Quiz again, tiptoes in, touchdown. Mom's loving it. So are all the Oregon State faithful. We're a point away from a tie game again.
You go back to the interception that Andy Dalton threw, the interception that almost was thrown by Ryan Katz that was dropped, and now we have a tie ball game almost.
Justin Cahoot for the 3rd tie of the night. It's up and good. Now Andy Dalton knows what his job is. Try to get the football back in Oregon State's end, but not make a mistake.
Remember this? This was the first play of this scoring drive. Almost threw it right back to him. As it turned out, they got it inside the 2, and Quiz took it in to tie the ball game up.
The 2010 Cowboys Classic, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And Dr. Pepper, there's nothing like a pepper.
They tell us it's the best locker room on the premises, the locker room of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I know one thing, they got more makeup mirrors in that one than they do in the Cowboys locker room. 21-21, 5:33 remaining 3rd quarter. Jacquizz Rodgers finally got free for a touchdown to cap an 87-yard drive in 8 plays. So we're dead even for the 3rd time tonight.
He had a couple good runs on that drive.
Yes, he did. Cahoot to kick. Jeremy Curley camps under it at the 6-yard line. Curley had a little seam for a second, got out to about the 29-yard line. Anthony Watkins made the stop there. Well, don't forget Boise State, Virginia Tech coming up on Monday night. You talk about implications as far as the BCS. Boise State with that high national ranking after an undefeated season last year. But Frank Beamer and the Hokies are waiting for him at FedEx Field.
Yeah, I like the Hokies in that game. I got a lot of respect for Kellen Moore. We did the game against TCU last year. Chris Peterson, great coach. I think the running game of Virginia Tech and their physicality will be the difference in that game Monday night.
Andy Dalton will set up shop with the offense at the 29-yard line. Play action. He's going to go deep down the sideline and incomplete. Intended for Jimmy Young. Dalton tonight has thrown a couple interceptions. Todd, you talked about Fiesta Bowl. He had 3 in that game and lost, and there's a very vital statistic in his interception ratio.
Vital and alarming if you're a TCU fan. When he throws no interceptions in his career, TCU is 22-0. When he throws 2 or more, they're 0-4. And he's thrown 2 tonight. That was good coverage that time by James Dockery. But again, Andy Dalton, he said what he took away from that loss and his performance, stay even keeled. Play the whole game. Don't lose focus, and don't let your emotions get the best of you.
Ball start, number 61.
This isn't going to help the cause either. It'll back it up. Second down at 15. There's a new center in there, Jake Kirkpatrick, who's the senior and one of the offensive captains. He was shaken up on the last drive when TCU had the football. And so Josh Vernon has slid over there from his guard position. And that's never a situation you want to get in either, whether it's shotgun snap or just direct snap to your quarterback. In this case, it's going to be the shotgun.
And the center does more than snap the ball in this offense. He's got to set the protections as well. A lot of thinking as well.
Dalton. There's a good throw to Curley. First down. Out of bounds. About the 42-yard line. Pickup of 18.
Now, everybody remembers Curley as a return guy. That's where he's made his biggest plays. But he was the leading receiver on this team last year with 44 catches. He's become a very good receiver throughout his career.
Jared Anderson told us, the offensive coordinator, he's got to remind him all the time, just think of everything as a home game. Says he tends to lose focus on the road. And he said, I'm going to tell him, make sure even though we're not at our own stadium, this is our home game. Well, he was focused on that catch, and there's a first down at the 43-yard line. Here's the option that's been successful tonight. Pitch to Wesley, and it's successful again. All the way inside of 45 to the 43.
You know, playing defense and good defense is about leverage. It's about staying on top of the offense. If they run outside, having more guys outside to force it in. And every time TCU has run this option, they've been able to leverage the Oregon State defense. They've been able to get outside and get more people out there to block than they have defenders.
Here comes a quick snap again. And it's Wesley again. And another first down run. Or right at it. He got about 10 more, and he's over 100 for the night, and he's averaging about 9 yards a pop. Comes up limping a little bit. He's had a heck of a game.
Yeah. What I like here, too, is the answer by TCU. Go right back down the field. Do it by running the football, what you do best. Mix in some pass, and don't panic. There's no reason to panic. We've overcome the turnover, and now we're coming back this way.
Whoa. Wide snap, but they got it down anyway, and Tucker. And that was one of the best hands job of the night by the quarterback, Andy Dalton. He had to reach out there, snare that one, and then pitch it almost all in one move.
Well, again, yeah, the new center. It's,
watch this one. Whoa.
Well, he knew he was going that way. Yeah. I guess I'll give you a head start.
I'll lead you a little bit.
That's better than going the other way.
Yeah, you got that right.
We saw that today with Florida. They had major problems snapping the football.
Did they ever? Tucker again, bulldozing his way for what might be another first down. And right now that offensive front of TCU is kind of wearing out Oregon State's defensive line. It's going to be close to a first down. While we're checking it, let's check in with Reese.
All right, Brad, checking in now with some stat sheet stuffers, albeit against lesser competition. These numbers are from the first half of the respective games. Kendall Hunter going for 208 for the Pokes. Case Keenum, 5 touchdown passes, on its way with a good year to becoming the all-time leading passer in NCAA history. And Stanford's Andrew Luck with over 3 bills in the first half against Sacramento State. All of it coming up for you on College Football Final at your Sports Center tonight.
Impressive statistics by those three. There were some big games all over the country. Aaron Murray, making his first start for Georgia, had a big game. Tuimane was shaken up on the play and came to the sideline while they're measuring, and they're about a length shy, or just that clip that's on the end of the links, whatever that's called. We'll just call it the clip. So it's going to be third down and a clip. Last time on third down and this short, TCU passed in this spot on the field and had it intercepted. I don't think they're going to do that again. Not with about 2 inches to go. Matthew Tucker, the lone setback. Dalton will do it himself, and he's got the first down. Let's check in with Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, guys, I feel like this is a little bit of false advertising because they kept saying that it's air conditioned in here in this building, but TCU was smart. They made a request to open the roof of the building. That way there's no air conditioning being used, and it is hot as can be down here on the field. You just saw one of the Oregon State players cramping up on that last play. Guys are starting to get tired, and Gary Patterson was smart. He knew this wouldn't be a home field advantage because of the heat, and he found a way to make it so. They practiced 8 straight days in over 100 degrees for fall training camp, so pretty smart move by Gary Patterson.
Yeah, it was hot as blazes down here until the last couple of days has been very nice. Mark Johnson with a very nice reception and out of bounds inside the 15.
Well, Holly's right about the advantage for TCU. I was up in Corvallis on Wednesday, and when I landed in Portland, I realized that all I had was shorts and flip-flops and T-shirts, and I needed to buy a pullover to wear to practice on Wednesday afternoon because it was not hot up there this week. It was pretty nice, but not hot.
Here's a quick snap. Tucker down to about the 11.
And again, running the football like this takes steam and heart and legs away from a defense.
Especially when you're working in what is a hotter condition, as you and Holly were talking about it here. They had the roof closed until the pregame, and it takes about 12 minutes to open it up.
They're trying to keep their defensive linemen as fresh as possible, knowing that they've got a fourth quarter to play. That's why Paya's not in every play. They're rotating to try to keep them fresh, but they have not been able to stop TCU.
Here's the option again. And Wesley off the pitch from Dalton. Got it down near the 7. Dwight Roberson, who has an interception in the ball game, in on the tackle. Paya coming back in. He was out for a breather. Right now, TCU can get a first down inside the 1-yard line. So it's not second down and goal. As you can see the stripe. If they get it that close, they'll probably get it in. Quiz Rogers just trying to chill on the sideline as we saw him earlier. He tied the game up, and now Tucker trying to change that tie again. Third down coming up, and this is the biggest third down of the ball game for TCU. This is where, when you got a quarterback like Dalton, if you roll him out, he's got a little bit of an option maybe. They got about 3 to go. Long 2, actually.
When they've got him on the edge, it hasn't been with a run-pass option. It's been a keeper pitch option, and that's been effective. They're on the right hash. I'll be surprised if they don't run wide to the left with the little option and give Dalton the choice on the edge.
Here's the pistol set. Third down and long 2. He rides it and keeps it and scores it. Touchdown. Andy Dalton for the score from 3 yards out.
Well, watch the defensive end. Taylor Henry, 91, just crashed right down on the back, and it left a little hole, a nice seam there for Andy Dalton to squeeze in.
Ross Evans for the point after, and it's good. And another lead change back in the favor of the Horned Frogs. And for the 6th time tonight, Andy Dalton on a third down situation picks up a first down rushing. More importantly, in this case, not only a first down rushing, but a touchdown rushing. And that gives his team the lead, 28-21.
Well, watch again. Taylor Henry is the end over here. He's going to chase this play, thinking the back's getting the ball all the way. And watch the nice job by the quarterback. Put it in the belly, keep it, and then pull it out the last minute, and enough of a crease to get it into the end zone.
So the lead goes back to the Horned Frogs, ranked 6th in the country, trying to take this opportunity in this football season to do what they did a year ago, which is run the table in the regular season. And a lot of people think if they get by this game, they've got Utah down the road, and there's an SMU game that might be tough,
BYU.
But they're capable.
They are very capable. And what I like and what I'm seeing out of them tonight is their resolve, their toughness. And it starts with their quarterback. He's thrown 2 interceptions, but he's battled back. He's kept his poise. And offensively, when they've needed to respond and answer, they have.
Sharples to kick. High and short. Rogers camps under it at the 10. James Rogers across the 25 and out to the 28-yard line. Talked about TCU and their schedule at SMU. That's on ESPN, and that won't be that easy either. But that Utah game down in November looms large. Utah with a big win in their opener over Pitt the other night.
I agree. Gary Patterson told us, with this game against this opponent, it's not about style points. It's about winning by 1 more point.
Yeah.
And I agree. This is a quality opponent in Oregon State.
Right now they're up by 7 points. Can they keep it that way? Draw play. Jaquiz Rogers with a stiff arm, a stutter move, and then he got planted by 2 guys. And the 35-yard line, T.J. Johnson and Colin Jones.
But not before he got 6 or 7 yards.
Yep.
I mean, he did get planted, but this is another good run for Jaquiz. A little delay draw. He breaks the tackle attempt by Colin Jones. Jones gets him at the end, but not before Quiz gets 3 or 4 more yards.
55 yards now for Quiz, including a touchdown. Second down at 4. James Rogers coming the other way, and Big Brother's got a first down.
And there you see the idea. When you say a guy plays bigger than he is, that's a perfect example. He's only 5'7". He may only weigh 190 pounds, but he is really thick in his lower body. So when you hit him at the waist level and don't wrap up, he's not going down. Watch T.J. Johnson. Doesn't wrap him up. He just sheds that tackle and gets the first down.
At the 44-yard line. As the third quarter comes to a close. End of 3. Good football game. In the Cowboy Classic. Right now, the home team's got the advantage, but by only a touchdown. TCU 28, Oregon State 21. Hang around. Fourth quarter is on deck.
You're watching ESPN, new home of the Bowl Championship Series.
Set to start the fourth quarter of the Cowboy Classic presented by Hampton Hotels. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew. Good football game. Number 6 team in the country leading by a touchdown. But the Beavers of Oregon State have got the ball to start the fourth with a first down at their own 44-yard line. Jaquiz Rogers, a single setback. They fake it to him. Ryan Katz loading, firing, and tipped by Tanner Brock, the middle linebacker.
See, now that's one I think he's got to dump off to Jaquiz Rogers. He tried to go downfield and it wasn't there. Jaquiz was his outlet. He's got to dump it off to number 1 and see if he can make a play. Watch Jaquiz. He's out here as an outlet receiver, and he passes up on going to him and throws it down the field. Let Jaquiz get it in space and see if he can make a play for you.
You could see the reaction of Rogers. Kind of tipped his helmet back as if to say, if he just would have gotten it to me, I had a little room to work. As you look at the eyes of Quiz on a second down and 10. Katz fires, incomplete on the out. Aaron Nichols, the intended receiver. Now it's third down and 10. 9 for 23 on the night. He started hot, had 2 touchdown passes in the first half, but he is cooled. There's his third down passing. They need that to go to 5 out of 8 right here on a 3rd and 10.
And James is right here. That's probably where he's going to look on this play.
High snap. Has plenty of time. Got away from the rush, now running for his life, and down he goes. Tracked down by Wayne Daniels, his second sack of the night.
A great second effort by Wayne Daniels. They are able to flush him out of the pocket. Daniels doesn't give up on the play, keeps his chase alive, and is able to trip up Katz before he can throw the ball. A lot of times when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, there's open receivers down the field. Daniels was able to trip him up.
You saw Jerry Hughes with a big smile on the sideline, cheering on his former teammate as Daniels doing it like Hughes used to. Here's a nice kick from Heckers. Curley way back at the 10. No fair catch, and he's drilled. Great coverage. 49-yard kick and absolutely no return. Dax Gilbeck got down there on special teams to make the hit. ESPN2's coverage of Major League Baseball and the hunt for October continues tomorrow night. Giants and Dodgers will get together. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Part of the hunt for October presented by Lee Jeans on ESPN2 and ESPN3.com. 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night.
This is another one of those critical defensive possessions for Oregon State. They don't necessarily need a 3 and out, but that punt and the good coverage flip the field. They've got to keep TCU in this part of the field for their offense.
Dalton got it out to Sky Dawson. They try to get some blockers in front of him, and Dawson spins and fights for about 8 yards out to the 19-yard line. Dawson, world-class speed for the sophomore out of Mesquite, Texas. He'll become more and more a part of this offense as the season rolls along. Talk about speed and world-class speed, including a gold medal. Former Cowboy Bob Hayes here in the Ring of Honor at Cowboy Stadium. Let's check in with Reese Davis. Reese?
All right, Brad, we told you earlier Oklahoma's had his hands full with the Aggies of Utah State. Aggies on the drive. DeAndre Burrell fires, tipped into the air, and picked off by Jamel Fleming. They did review the play. The interception stands. Oklahoma not out of the woods, but at least up 7 and with the ball right now in Utah State territory. Look what happened in Turner Gill's debut at Kansas. North Dakota State knocks him off 6-3.
Wow, big win for North Dakota State. Dalton out and up too far. Out of bounds. Curtis Clay, the intended receiver, and Brandon Harden was back there defending. 29 victories in the career for this young man, Andy Dalton. One more win would put him in the record books in school history. He would pass, yes indeed, slinging Sammy Baugh, who was an All-American in the 30s here and went on to a great NFL Hall of Fame career. Great punter as well. He won 29 games for the Horned Frogs. And if Andy wins this game and he's up by a touchdown, he goes in the record books with his 30th win in a TCU uniform. And of course, there's a Sammy Baugh building named here. And Andy kind of said, you know, maybe they can put me in parentheses or something. He basically just told us the other day, man, to be mentioned in the same sentence with Sammy Baugh, are you kidding me?
Well, here's the play right here for Oregon State. They did a nice job on 1st and 2nd down. Maybe the longest 3rd down play TCU has had tonight. 3rd and 8+. They've got to come up with a stop. They still could get good field position after a punt if they get a stop here.
But in long yardage, they're 0 for 2 on these 3rd downs. Big play by both teams, for both teams, right here. Dalton over the middle, crossing pattern. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. Nice defense by Michael Doctor. Just what the doctor ordered right there. Big hit.
Yeah.
They're going to have to punt it.
That was a mistake, I think, by the young receiver, Josh Boyce, who made the catch. He tried to stretch that to the sideline to gain the 1st down. I think maybe if he just turns right upfield after the catch, he has a better chance of converting that 1st down.
So now, Anson Kelton, that 280-pound punter, set to kick away to the 188-pound James Rogers. Rogers averaged about 12 yards a punt return last year, but when you look at the field like this, if he hits a line drive, James will have a chance. It's anything but a line drive. It's a mile in the air. James backpedals to the 13. Got by 1. James Rogers, 20, 25, and out to the 27. Did what he could. And little brother Jaquiz getting ready to put his lid on and be part of the offense. Can Oregon State come back and tie it up? Hang around, find out with us.
The 2010 Cowboys Classic is presented by Hampton Hotels. At Hampton, we love having you here. And in part by Lee. Getting comfortable never looked so good.
We've got a great one going on here at the Cowboy Classic. We'll have another one for you in the All-State Kickoff in the Capitol as part of Dick's Sporting Goods Kickoff Week, Monday night, 8 o'clock. Boise State ran the table a year ago. They're ranked 3rd in the country, and Virginia Tech number 10 at FedEx Field. 1st down, Oregon State trailing by a touchdown with 11:13 remaining. Jaquiz Rogers, a tough 4 yards. Tank Carter as we check in with Holly.
Well, all preseason, all anyone said around here is, what in the world will TCU do without Jerry Hughes? And Jerry, I'll ask you, how do you think they've done so far without you?
I think they're doing great right now. You know, they're up in the game, they're winning the ball game, and that's all that matters right now.
Daniels has had 2 sacks in your old position. What is it about how Gary Patterson teaches defense that allows you guys to be successful?
You know what? He takes that speed and he kind of just molds it and puts it on the field. Wherever he can get that speed on the field, he's going to do it. And, you know, we got a great defensive line coach with Dick Bumpus. You know, he does a great job of coaching us, teaching us moves, and just getting us out there.
All right, well, he's taught him some moves. He's going back to the Indianapolis Colts, and he said things are going pretty well up there for him, guys.
All right, good luck, Jerry. The Ted Hendricks Award winner is the best defensive end in the country last year. And there's Coach Bumpus, who Jerry was talking about. Jerry was also named the Mountain West Conference Male Athlete of the Year, something that was just awarded recently, even though he's a pro now. He was a great amateur here at TCU. A huge 3rd and 1. The up man's got it, and the up man's got the 1st down.
That was Jaquiz in the fullback position with James behind him.
That's 2nd or 3rd time they've shown that formation tonight.
I mean, you just see the toughness of Jaquiz Rogers.
Here's the smallest fullback in football right here.
That's exactly right. But he sneaks right through there. He knows what he needed for first down, and he's not afraid to put his nose down and go get tough yards.
Ryan Katz has a look with Rodgers behind him on first down. Fakes it to him. Wants to go deep on the sideline, and James Rodgers broke it up. Wow, Greg McCoy, a great closing burst, or it would have been a touchdown.
He had a great closing burst, and because Ryan Katz had to kind of double clutch this throw, he wasn't able to get enough on it. Rodgers has him beat with the stop and go. But the ball hung in the air a little bit, and McCoy was able to close the gap, but it's because Katz had to kind of pull it down and reset because of the pressure and got the throw off a little bit late.
McCoy, by the way, is a 4.3 240 guy, too, so there's no lack of speed out there. And he and James Rodgers have had a battle all night, including that last play. Second down at 10 for the Beavers. Katz in the gun. Time to throw, but it's high and through the hands of Aaron Nichols. That one he had too much on.
Well, and I think Ryan Katz, the youth and inexperience of Ryan Katz is starting to show up a little bit more in this second half. 2 of 9 now in the second half.
And he's missed his last 5.
And see, that was an easy one. You know, the play before was a nice play by McCoy. That was an open receiver, and he just made a poor throw. And now he's got a 3rd and 10.
And the purple-clad Horned Frog fans up again and making noise for the defense. Oregon State's going to have to earn this one. 3rd down and a full 10. High snap, draw play. Quiz Rodgers trying to dance his way to the sticks. He won't get there, but he did get to the 45, where it's going to be 4th down and 3.
Still a lot of time left in the ball game. You're playing field position right now if you're Mike Riley as well. You flipped the field on the last exchange. You didn't get a score out of it, but at least you've got Hecker in a position to pin TCU back again. He's got to have a solid kick here and not let Curley make something happen on the other end.
Remember, his short punt to Curley resulted in the late second quarter touchdown by TCU. The last time he came out to kick, he blasted one. Snaps a little low. He handles it, and he kicks it high in the air, and this is going to have to be a fair catch by Curley at the 16-yard line. 8:27 remaining in the football game. TCU has got the lead and the ball when we come back.
Boise State's out to prove they are legit title contenders on ESPN College Football Primetime. Boise State, Virginia Tech, Monday at 8 on ESPN.
Bart Johnson right there, number 6, part of our All-State Good Hands play of the game. And here it is. Good Hands play brought to you by All-State. Watch this throw from Andy Dalton, and watch Bart Johnson take it off with his fingertips, the top of the turf. There's about 2 inches to spare right here. Great catch.
Sometimes the quarterback makes a receiver look good, and sometimes the receiver makes a quarterback look good.
Absolutely.
What Gary Patterson wants from his offense right now is eat some clock, run the football, and flip the field.
And they have run the football very well tonight, especially with this guy who's over 100 yards. Ed Wesley bounces out of bounds, knocked out by Dockery.
Well, that's not what he wanted. He didn't want his running back to run out of bounds and stop the clock. Keep the clock running, run the football, and move the chain, so even if you don't score, you've got a touchdown lead. Even if you don't score, get yourself in a position to punt Oregon State down and then count on that rock-solid defense to keep them down there.
On second down, Dalton play action. He's going to go for all of it down the far sideline, and it's incomplete. Brandon Harden broke it up. Now the pass down the sideline to Josh Boyce.
So you look at Brandon Harden, he's big for a corner.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 6'2", 215 pounds, and the coaches of TCU said that's the guy we're going to go after. He's a little bit more of a run support guy, a banger. The other guy, Dockery, is probably their best cover guy. We're going to go after Harden. They got him once early in the game, but he's held his own pretty well.
Well, the Horned Frogs have backed themselves into a little bit of a mud hole here on 3rd down and long and have stopped the clock twice. 3rd and 7. Big play for the Oregon State defense. Dalton keeps it. Ooh, does he get it? I think he might.
I think he might have.
Well, Beavers are saying the ball's out. I think he got the first down. You talk about a big run. If indeed that's a first down on 3rd down and 7, it is. Andy Dalton, who had a touchdown run to give his team the lead, has now on 3rd down again come up, and this time it's the longest run he's come up with on a 3rd down conversion right here.
And he's not a slide guy. He's a guy who's going to go head first and forward towards that first down marker, and another big run for Dalton.
Now he's back in the shotgun in the pistol set with Wesley behind him, and the clock is moving. 7:25 remaining in the ball game. And it looked like they were.
I don't think they got the play off.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Todd, you know, I'm sure, and it may have happened today in Georgia Tech's game or maybe a Navy game. I don't know that I've seen so many 3rd down conversion runs by a quarterback. I'm sure Joshua Nesbitt probably had 4 or 5 today, but Dalton's got 7.
Yeah. For a team that's not really known as an option team, yeah, you're right.
They back themselves up here. 1st and 15, but again, the clock's going to move its way inside the 7-minute mark, leading by 7. 6th-ranked TCU. Quick throw in the flat to Curley. He wants to stay in bounds, get what he can, and he does both. And he's almost got another first down. On a 9-yard pickup for Jeremy Curley. Senior out of Hutto, Texas.
Nice accurate throw, and you mentioned it. Curley did a real nice job of staying in bounds, getting what he could, getting it into a second and very short situation.
That ties his career high. His career high was 6 catches in the Fiesta Bowl. He's got 6 more tonight. And now the Horned Frogs have got a first down again on the ground as they're churning up yardage on the ground. They're well over 200 yards rushing, and a stat for TCU, when they go over 167 yards on the ground, they've won their last 40 games in a row, and they're up about 250 or so right now.
Well, again, this is exactly what Gary Patterson wanted out of this drive. I mean, obviously you'd love to score again and make it a 2-score game, but if you don't do that, at least now you've gotten in a position where you can pin them back if you have to punt and trust your defense
and put it on the shoulders of a quarterback making his first start on the other side. And out to the 47 is Andy Dalton, and down to the field to Holly.
Well, Brad, you mentioned it earlier, the unusual color of the TCU uniforms and helmets. It's gray going to white, and the theme for this team this year is an old quote by their former coach, Dutch Meyer, who was legendary back in the 1930s. Gary Patterson plucked this quote: "Fight them till hell freezes over, and then fight them on the ice." So Nike designed these uniforms. It's lizard skin that turns white to ice, and inside the neck of their jerseys is embroidered the words, "Till hell freezes."
Boy, Dutch Meyer, who coached here 1934 to 52. Here's an end around. Young wants to stay in bounds, and did. He got down before he's actually shoved out over there on the far side. And a pickup of about a yard. That was Tucker, beg your pardon. So the clock will move. We're under 5 minutes. TCU trying to hang on in front of 46,138 tonight at the Cowboy Classic. 3rd down, it's usually Andy Dalton's down.
12 of 14 third down plays, they've run the football. No back in the backfield. That doesn't mean they're not running.
That's exactly right. This time they will throw and knock down. What a play defensively by Dwight Roberson, who has an interception tonight, and that's an even bigger play.
He made the interception on 3rd down, and he made the huge play there on 3rd down. Not only do they get a stop, it stops the clock as well with the incompletion. But again, TCU has the opportunity with a good punt here to make Ryan Katz and Oregon State go a long field for a tying touchdown.
You talked about it before, Ledge. At least TCU ran 4 minutes off the clock. That was big. And now if they get a good kick, they could maybe pin James Rodgers inside the 10. They hang it up there.
Short.
Yeah, it's short. And he'll call for a fair catch over at about the 18-yard line on the far side of the field. 34-yard kick. He ain't over yet. Oregon State still got something to say about this football game with 4:18 to play. Our primetime college football presented by Hampton Hotels. It's a Cowboy Classic in Arlington. Oregon State, we talked about their slow starts under Mike Riley. They're 1-12 in pre-October games, which includes a late August game. That's why we say pre-October. Well, right now they've got still time to do something about it. 4:18 remaining, but they trail by a touchdown. Remember, they got Boise State also in the first 3 weeks of the season. They wanted to get off to a hot start here if they could upset TCU on the road. They got a long ways to go from the 18-yard line.
Well, Katz is changing the play completely at the line of scrimmage. This first play is very important.
Whoa, that's not what you want to do. Katz is going to kick it out of the back of the end zone. Safety, TCU, 2 more.
I don't know that he's allowed to kick it like that.
Well, Uwe Shaman did it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, didn't he? Or was it Gary Upremian? One of those guys did that.
For the first time tonight, Ryan Katz is trying to change the play, and the center, their best lineman, Alex Lindenkolb, snaps it when he wasn't ready, and it went over his head. The worst possible thing that could happen on this drive just happened for Oregon State. Yeah, it is a penalty. He's not able to kick. It's an illegal kick, but the result of the play is still a safety.
We'll attack the penalty on what will be a free kick, and now it's a 2-possession game. Yeah. Todd, it's 30-21.
There just could not have been anything worse other than an interception return for a touchdown that could have happened right there to TCU or to Oregon State.
I don't know if Lindenkolb didn't have the count or Katz just wasn't ready. Whatever, it's the worst thing, as Todd said, and we saw Florida have that happen to them today. And you see the linemen down there, they're all talking about it. Meanwhile, Ryan Katz would just like to have another opportunity. He's on the headset, but he might never get the football back now. Not the way TCU's been running the ball. So Johnny Hecker will have the free kick. Curley and Clay are the deep men. Disaster strikes in Arlington for Oregon State on that last play. And not a good free kick either. Taken on one hop perfectly by Curley. And Curley is across midfield. TCU couldn't have had anything work better. Yeah. Short free kick, good return in Oregon State territory. But here again, Katz trying to change the play maybe and watch the snap.
Never even looked at it.
No.
I mean, he's still looking at the formation. He's trying to change the play. Probably not the best time to try to make an audible like that. And again, the worst situation. He's trying to communicate to the whole field. And he's looking left, and the ball goes right over his head. Or right past his head.
So a 9-point lead for TCU. And here comes Ed Wesley. There goes Ed Wesley to the 30-yard line. And the Horned Frogs, 4 minutes away from wrapping this thing up.
And of course, now the question becomes for TCU. I mean, are they a national championship contending kind of team if they can run the table? I mean, this looked to be the most difficult challenge on their schedule. You never know. There's a lot of football to be played.
Remember last year, the Big 12 championship, Texas and Nebraska. Texas got one more tick of the clock put back on after Colt McCoy threw that ball out of bounds and got a field goal to win that game, or TCU would have been in the national championship game against Alabama. Well, they got a long ways to go. We got about 13 more weeks to think about that, I guess.
Yep, we sure do.
Down to the 25 is Wesley. Another pickup of 6. Good, solid game for Ed Wesley, the sophomore out of Irving, Texas, as he's been a workhorse tonight. And Tucker, when he's come in there, he's done well too. But over 100 and closing in on his best game ever. Ed Wesley's best game was against Utah, 137 last year.
This TCU team returned 16 starters from that undefeated team last year, 9 of them on offense. They lost some key guys on defense. We already mentioned Jerry Hughes, Darrell Washington, middle linebacker, a pair of corners who were 4-year starters.
Yep.
And the offense has carried the team tonight. They've been more physical than Oregon State.
I like their offensive line.
Yep.
Here's Tucker, Dalton rather, keeping it. Play fake to Tucker and got it down within 2 yards of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. Time is of the essence right now. Oregon State needs the ball to pop out or something, or they might not get another chance. Mike Riley will know that one slipped away here. Mike still has a summer home near San Antonio, so he gets back to Texas for about a month every summer, as he was head coach of San Antonio, the World League, back around 90. But this trip is not going to be a happy one, it appears, unless the ball will pop out for him. On the ground, 1st down to the 20 is Tucker.
You know, you could just see the look in his face, the frustration. And it's not that they got beat or are going to get beat, because he knows TCU is a high-quality team.
Right.
But you don't give yourself a chance at the end. With that play that backfired and the safety, it just took their whole chance away to make a run at TCU here in the last 4 minutes of the game. And that's the frustrating thing, and the thing that'll eat at him the whole plane ride home back to Corvallis.
TCU, we'll talk about 3rd down conversions tonight. Oregon State will too. TCU 11 out of 16 on their 3rd down conversions, including that last one that got them a 1st down at the 20. And Matthew Tucker with 1.5 minutes to go. Andy Dalton, 17 of 27, a touchdown and 1 on the ground.
Look at that. 37 career starts to 1. That's the difference in this game tonight. Andy Dalton was able to overcome 2 interceptions, critical interceptions, and come back and lead his team and make plays when they needed him to make plays, both throwing it and running it. Ryan Katz is going to be an outstanding quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got great tools, but this has got to be a learning experience for him.
Andy Katz, for the first time with 2 or more interceptions, is going to get away with it and get a victory. And it's going to be a victory that's going to put him in the school record books, as he is under a minute away from being the winningest quarterback in TCU history. His 30th win is coming to pass Davey O'Brien on the all-time list. Sammy Baugh, I beg your pardon, on the all-time list.
The thing I like
fans know that now.
The thing I like about Andy Dalton is, you know, he hated the way he played in that Fiesta Bowl. Threw 3 interceptions. Couldn't wait to get back on the field this year. Said his takeaway from that game was, I got to stay even-keeled. If I make a mistake, I can't let it get to me. I've got to stay the course and be a calm leading and a calm influence for the rest of my team. And he did that tonight.
7 3rd down conversion runs by just the quarterback alone. And what will end up being a 3-yard touchdown. That's the winning touchdown that put them up 28-21. So now 47 seconds remain. They come back out on the field. Oregon State, you see the yellow dashes underneath the Beavers down there on the bottom. That's their remaining 1 timeout. TCU's got all 3 left, and they don't need them. But here's another 3rd down. And wouldn't shock me if Andy Dalton ran the ball. Matthew Tucker's back there with him in the Horned Frog backfield. Here's Dalton. Didn't get the 1st down this time, but he's within about a yard of it as we check in with Reese Davis. Reese?
All right, Brad, over on ESPN2 right now, Fresno State taking on Cincinnati. Debut for Butch Jones, replacing Brian Kelly, and Zach Polaris finds DJ Woods. The Bearcats have an early lead. Getting the game going on over on ESPN2. Jake Locker had a shot at Washington and BYU territory late, but the Cougars hang on to win it 23-17 despite 266 yards through the air from the Washington quarterback.
All right, Reese, thanks. The final seconds ticking off. Gary Patterson's team goes to 1-0, the number 6 team in the country. Tough loss from number 24, Oregon State, and Mike Riley. Be a long ride back to Corvallis, but a Really good football game in the Cowboy Classic. 30-21 as we check in with Holly and the winning coach.
Well, Coach, what was going through your mind earlier in this game when your senior quarterback threw 2 picks?
Well, the last game we played, we didn't turn out so good. But, you know, the good thing was we were able to overcome it. And, you know, I was happy with our defense. They have some good offensive players. We got to not allow big plays. We stopped the run mostly. And offensively, we did it when we needed to do it. Now, I'm proud of everybody's special teams, the whole group.
Well, particularly your running game. Not only Andy Dalton on key third downs, but Ed Wesley had a terrific game. What enabled you to run the ball like you did?
Well, you know, it's an old team. I keep telling everybody we had 9, 10 starters coming back and everybody else. We were missing a tackle. So we were able to put a lot of the offense in early. Everybody was playing with confidence. And now we've got 11 more ball games, so we'll see how they turn out.
All right, thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Didn't need style points, just needed 1 more point. Ended up 9 points up, and there's a winningest quarterback in school history. If it was a baseball game, he'd have the game-winning hit. His 17th career rushing touchdown was the one that won it. He's got 30 wins now in that uniform, and he's a happy guy. 30-21, TCU win it. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Sports Center on ESPN. Right now, for my partners, Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, and our entire crew from Arlington, Texas, and Cowboy Stadium, Brad Nessler saying so long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Horned Frogs 30, Beavers 21, the final from Texas tonight.